My brain's splitting off in so many different directions. My brain's splitting off in so many different. My brain's splitting off in so many different directions that no one has the answers to. So many different. My dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Things upset me. What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? Questions that no one has the answers to.
I'm Jeremy Greer.
And I'm Gary Butterfield.
And this is Days of Future Cast, the podcast that has yet to use the sitting Bernie meme in any episode art, and frankly refuses to, as we talk about X-Men and X-Statix. Gary, have you seen any X-Men Bernie memes pop up? That's the only fandom that I think I've missed.
I haven't seen that crossover, but can you imagine this arc of X-Statix if it was Bernie Sanders joining X-Statix?
Dude, put Bernie in every comic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do it. Bernie meets the Punisher.
I saw an interview with that dude where they were like, I don't remember which talking head was like, were you aware that you were a meme? And he was like, yeah, I see him. Like, but the important thing is that the mittens were made by so-and-so from Virginia, and she has a small business. I'm like, that dude has one message, and I love it. I absolutely do. But
yeah.
You're not going to pull him off message, Jimmy Kimmel. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. it's a good message too. It's also the meme thing happened when everybody was complaining about it. And I'm like, he's 1 billion years old and it's January. I don't understand. Like, how can you make this problematic? That's so fucking dumb.
Dude, I would be dressed exactly the same way and trying to stay away from all of the people. Like, not only did you guys have a party in the middle of a pandemic, it's also January in Washington, D.C. Like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not warm climate there. And like there's one of the comedy captions, like, this could have been a meeting or this could have been an email. Yeah. And I was thinking about it, it's like, yeah, this kind of actually could have been.
They could have done the whole thing in a Zoom call. Like, we didn't have to have anybody singing or any of that bullshit. Like, I don't know, man. A lot of that stuff. And I've,
the pageantry.
The pageantry is really obnoxious to me. Like, I feel like the pageantry of democracy is really annoying sometimes. And with the security thing, it completely shut down Washington, D.C. for people like small businesses and stuff. So, like, congrats.
Yeah. Imagine working there or living there.
Yeah.
Be miserable. Speaking of, we're at the weird pivot point of this weird storyline that we're going to wrap up in this session.
I'm
Back from the Dead storyline.
Extremely here for this weird storyline where they introduce a villain and just take care of him.
It's in part 3. Part 3 of 6. We're introducing a villain, and if you think that villain has a big part of the last issue of the arc, you'd be wrong.
Totally wrong.
The storyline has 3 storylines in it. Because refresh everybody's memory, originally Princess Di was going to come back from the dead and join X-Statix, and then they had to change it to pop star known as Princess Henrietta Hunter. Here, what's going on with Fat's face on this cover?
I'm not sure, man. I'm really his eyes are going 2 different directions, and there's a bunch of random shit happening, and it's just like a team splat with Henrietta in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This next 4 issues are so fucking wild, Gary.
It's super weird, dude.
I am just so fucking I was reading this and just thinking the entire time, where is this going? This is so
and
it does feel really refreshing. It just a bunch of stuff happens. It seems to be sticking. Nobody just magically gets their legs back or anything. But yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Spoiler. It's a consequential things happen in the grand plot. This is, again, we talked about this a lot, but it's so weird to think of having to redo your entire story here. And I don't know that I necessarily could have done it better. And I think this half of the story is a little bit better than the first half. This is the one it feels like they wrote after they knew it couldn't be Princess Di.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple lines that come in. Someone's speaking of queens, Princess Di, a musician, and it's well, I guess Freddie Mercury, but this is a little bit more confident. And also, if this were just a normal arc that didn't have anything to do with fake Princess Di, I would think this was kind of cool.
Yeah. It really I found myself completely forgetting that this was a Princess Di thing again, which is the best thing you could probably say for it. Other than just like some weird stuff that pops up here and there. For the most part, I just didn't know, which is good. Like that's exactly what you would hope for in something like this.
That's what we want. Yeah. So Back from the Dead Part 3 here. We get into this and we're introduced to our villain for the next 3 issues. Mr. Code, who is like a guy in a suit with a white mask with a barcode on the front, giving like a success seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Texas some years ago.
Yeah, and this is one of those like your miserable trade-offs between desires and your fears.
Fight Club.
Yeah, this is very like kind of Fight Club-ish business, and like as soon as one person asks a question that he doesn't like, he just zaps them dead. And then of course the next question is like, how do we start to change America? Like, and so like, and the guy's like, there's going to be signs, and the children of the West will walk in the hanging gardens, and all this other bullshit. Like, it sounds like total complete bullshit. But Spike Freeman is there, and he seems to be just really into this stuff.
He's eating it up because, like, you know, these venture capitalists, Silicon Valley shits love this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we flash forward to today, where we get this little domestic scene of this teenager arguing with his mom about nutrition. You know, how that's all full of artificial stuff, with a product called like Cream Nut. Looks like
loves me some cream nut.
Cream Nut and Crunchy Munchy Puffs. But she gets sniped.
Yeah, a bunch of people get sniped, like in just this parking lot of a grocery store. As we zoom out, and we can see like multiple people dead and wounded, and like other people trying to hide because they can't see the sniper or anything. With one woman saying, "This is so intense," which is really, you know, I'm gonna forgive her in the heat of the moment. Like, it probably is very intense.
Intense is the word for it. I love that they actually name check the Washington Sniper. It's like in an incident reminiscent of the Washington Sniper.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird thing that we all kind of forgot about the Washington Sniper.
Hey, Denzel made a movie about it, so we just assumed that it was solved.
Did they?
Yeah, like was that Denzel? I'm pretty sure
Denzel's on the case.
Yeah, he's got it, man. Who needs to know anything? I mean, it's all in the movie.
I didn't realize he took care of it. Cool.
Yeah. So this is why we don't worry about it anymore.
Thanks, Denzel.
Well, this is a TV movie, but no, that's Denzel. Okay, we're all good. Hey folks, Future Jeremy here. I don't know what in the world possessed me to think Denzel Washington was in a movie about the Washington Sniper, but he absolutely was not. And I say it a lot in this episode, so sorry about that. And sorry about that, Mr. I'm apologizing directly to Denzel Washington now. The rest of you can just skip past this. I'm sorry, Mr. Washington.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's just you know, for people who don't know, because there are probably quite a lot of people who don't know. Like, this isn't like a 9/11 style event. In the wake of that, there was a guy who was just sniping people.
Yep.
The Beltway snipers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people in white vans sniping. And this, you know, this is happening here. We cut to this news report talking about it, how there's this growing hysteria as all these sniping incidents are happening. And they interview the head of Homeland Security, Homeland Defense, Ed Wolfman, who is just telling people not to panic. Yeah. You know, stay vigilant. Just kind of the empty platitudes we had after 9/11.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what this is making fun of. You know, don't let the terrorist win.
Mm-hmm. And we go back over to X-Statix headquarters, where Miles is like, this is kind of seems like our bag. Like, why aren't we doing anything about this? Like, we should go out and like protect the people or whatever. And the team leader, who is still Tyke, aka Anarchist, is like, no, dude, not at all. Like, this is completely poisoned job. So.
Yeah, this is like, this guy has gotten gray hairs just from being on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This Wolfman guy is going to get crucified. You know, this is where Spike's like, speaking of queens, and you think that he's going to be making fun of Miles, but he says, have we decided how we're going to kill a certain pop star? I'm like, well, not a queen, not any of that, you know, just like keeping the line in.
It's so fucking weird, man. It's just such a strange thing.
Very, very weird. They're discussing like how to kill her, but we find out that Lacuna is still listening in,
mm-hmm.
as kind of like slip between moments, is hiding behind the couch, and overhearing the plan.
And I like Dead Girl's idea, as Spike does as well, of just chopping her into a bunch of pieces sealing them up in caskets and then scattering them around the world like they were a bunch of fucking Horcruxes. And Spike's like, yeah, that's a good idea. We should definitely do that. And of course, Tyke is still angry with Spike for setting all of this up to begin with. So he's like, you just need to shut the fuck up before we have to deal with you directly.
Yeah, if we remember, they had him tied up and everything. So there's lots of tension between the owner and the team. This cutting her up and throwing her to mysterious pieces is foreshadowing for the last arc.
Oh, interesting.
Of this book. So they're like, where is she? We cut over to the Caribbean where she's getting a massage from Omar, who's rubbing oil all over her back. And X-Statix teleport in and just, shoot Omar off the thing. Take a swim, cabin boy. And are like trying to tell her that they're going to kill her when Lacuna appears, having hitched a ride, and be like, yeah, they're going to kill her. You're going to make her walk the plank, and kind of spill the beans.
Yeah.
For her.
Poor Omar, by the way. Like, let's pour one out for Omar, who was literally just doing his job and then got yeeted off a yacht by a fucking X-Statix member. Like, this has got to be the most depressing way to go.
Fat yeet. I love this bit where they're like, she's like, why would you kill me? And they're like, because you're annoying, because you're interfering, because you're white. And then she calls it. She's like, it's because I'm more popular than you are.
Yep. 100%.
Like, yep. That's it. Lacuna is just saying like, well, what is your end game? Kind of challenging them on this. You don't like her because she stands for something. And she goes, oh, I do? Goody. Which again, man, brutal to Princess Di.
I know, man.
And I love she's like, Lacuna says she wants to save her because she stands for all the women who were pushed around and started taking control. And she says, Henrietta says, are you going to kill me or not? Because if not, I need one of you strong boys to cream my legs.
Oof. Who says that?
Yeah.
If Autumn asked me to cream her legs, I'd be like, what is wrong? What? No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. We're married.
Honey, we're out.
Stop.
Yeah. I promised you my creaming days were done.
Yeah. Got rid of that on the bachelor party.
Yeah. We got all the cream out.
Gotta get that cream out.
Gotta get that cream out.
So instead of killing her, they decide to take her into a live mission in Afghanistan. And I know this is like parody of American exceptionalism and all this stuff, but it is still just way weird that they're just doing this so directly, of like literally killing. It's
all they do.
I mean, it's just but in this issue, especially because they like call it out of like one of the tanks that has a Made in America sticker and stuff like that. Like they're just being direct. Like they're just saying the thing. They're not, it's not subtle.
There's no subtext to this. The idea that they're the huge popular heroes, and then what they actually usually do is just go kill brown people. Here specifically, there was a reality TV show that was filming, and they got captured by the Taliban. So they have to, try to save them, keep the body count low, and stuff. And they're kind of just like making, small talk, thinking that Henrietta will either get killed or she'll be so turned off by all the blood and violence.
And there's also like a weird background conversation about like what agents they use, like what company they're with, which I think is, I don't know. It's just really like just to have these like weird conversations. I love how just completely transparent and shallow these people are for the most part, right? Like that, they are what they appear to be in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no illusions. They think that Henrietta is going to have this meltdown. They look over her and she's actually taking out a bunch of Taliban guys in her little superhero outfit, and she looks really like pained to have done it. And they say she's the all singing, all dancing, all butt kicking Henrietta the Taliban Slayer, which I think this would have been funnier as Princess Di, of course. I don't know how she did this. She has the superpower of empathy.
I mean, she could just be in shape,
bloodied up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's true. Like I know how people fight people without powers.
How do you think UFC works, dog? They just lift a weight.
Yeah. Well, those dudes are shitty superheroes.
They are
like Crotch Man and Leg Tom or whatever.
That's it. That's the big bout this weekend.
Yeah.
Crotch Man versus Leg Tom.
Versus Leg Tom. They're constantly just like shoving each other's faces in each other's dicks. I know I'm not trying to be gay panic about it. It's just as somebody who doesn't watch UFC, whenever I catch a little bit of it, it's just somebody just like face fucking another dude. I'm always really surprised.
I'm guessing that your friend group never had that phase where like they would that shit was happening in like backyards and everything. That ever happened to you?
No. You mean like actually fighting?
Yeah.
When I was very young, when I was like 13 or whatever, we used to, my friend Angel had a basement that we put mattresses on the floor, and we used to have kumites, like from Bloodsport.
Okay.
That's what we call it.
Cool.
And we would just kind of wrestle, down there, but that didn't last that long. And it was when I was very young. Older, as teens, we never beat the shit out of each other or anything.
And I guess we were all been in like early 20s, but one of our friends named Chris, Hardcore Chris number 2, was way into UFC and all that shit. So like before it got popular, he was bringing over VHS tapes that he had taped off of like satellites and stuff to watch it, and like teaching people how to do leg bars. And like I would watch it and be like, this is like, it hurts, it sucks. Like, why are you guys doing this?
Yeah,
this looks terrible.
I don't want to punch you guys.
Yeah. Can we do more mushrooms instead of this? This sucks.
Yeah. Do you guys like Mario Kart? I'm gonna do a leg drop on you in Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Yeah. So, as they get distracted here for a moment, take their eyes out of the game, and a missile comes to hit Henrietta, and Fat jumps in the way, deflecting the missile.
Yep.
Saving her life, which is contrary to what they want to do, and unfortunately just redirects the missile, blowing off El Guapo's legs.
What a bummer for this guy.
Entirely.
This dude has not had...
He's had a rough go.
He's had a real rough go. Broke up with his girlfriend, who seemed really nice. Now he doesn't have no legs. Like, that's not fun.
Skateboard beats the crap out of him.
Yeah. And everybody's mad at Fat for this, right? Like, because like that was the whole goal, was to get this chick killed, and he jumped into the last minute claiming it was just instinct. And Tyke even goes so far as to question the sexuality of like, maybe you're not gay, maybe you have a crush on her. He's like, no, I'm definitely gay, and like gets into this whole thing. Meanwhile, Dead Girl is just in the background popping out one-liners just constantly. And I really, really love Dead Girl in this issue.
She's great. Like, she's turning into, kind of an MVP of this series, and them taking her forward into the miniseries. Like, she's a great character. The first one she does, Tyke says like, well, he says he's gay, but Henrietta always had a big following among gay people. Again, Princess Di. Miles turns into Vivisector and is like, I really resent that. And Tyke's like, I really care. And then Dead Girl looks up with doing the thinking emoji. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's being sarcastic. As everyone's fighting here, basically they're mad at Fat because Fat could have solved the problem.
Yeah.
Like, just letting her get hit by a missile.
And like they actually like are about to come to blows with this, right? And eventually Guy has to step in as, like, he's not team leader at this point, but he's definitely acting like team leader for basically, he basically does everything except have the title, and breaks them up. And it's like, hey, we can't do this, because if we start arguing like this, she's going to succeed where all of the supervillains and super egos and megalomaniacs failed. She's going to destroy X-Statix. And then we get we kind of cut to like Nowhereville, where a couple is like walking down the street talking about Henrietta, and then they just get immediately murdered. Like, this is another kind of vignette.
Yep. Super sniped. News report here, says that these killings are random. They're talking to the Homeland Defense guy, basically just really giving him the third degree, like, this blood is on your hands, and he's losing it. He's like, I really tried. And she's just, no mercy. Like, so did Hitler. You do us all a favor. He's like, fine, I'll resign. I'll kill myself. And then he looks up at the camera and says, what about the heroes? Like, there are superheroes in this world. Shouldn't X-Statix be doing this? It's kind of a point. And Henrietta is like, hey, he's right. We should do this. The rest of the team starts to object, but Guy grabs Tyke and says, no, you're our new leader. It's your decision. With the idea that she's going to take on this, again, poison chalice, by putting the team on this, and this is going to ruin her.
Yep.
She's either going to die, or she is going to be so unpopular because of taking on this impossible task.
I really like this reporter who grills this Homeland Security chief, and I just wish we had one of those. Like, I'm sure that we do, but like we just haven't seen that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long time. And then she has this great line of like, "Please look into the camera when you humiliate yourself." That I really, I would pay a large sum of money to hear somebody say that to Ted Cruz one day, and just have him have to look at the camera while he's crying about something, going to jail or something. And
fucking shave, man.
Yeah.
I'm so pro beard, but that beard is one of the shittiest looking beards.
Dude, it's not good.
It just looks like such garbage. How can somebody look like that and just be like, yes, this is a good look for me?
This is it. I found my brand.
I found my brand. I'm going to look like I fucking, applied glue to my face and rolled around on the floor at the barbershop. Just the patchy, shitty beard.
And Autumn asked me what I wanted for Christmas this year, and this kind of goes against like this whole COVID thing, but I was like, you know what? Like I've kind of been slipping on my fashion. Like I need to start dressing a little bit better. So I've been like wearing nicer shirts and everything. Then every time I see that dude with the beard, I'm just like, shave your face, man. Like I'm putting in effort. Yeah, you're on TV.
Yeah, like you're a horrible senator. I'm just a guy.
I'm just a dude trying to sell a water meter. Like that's all I got.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's it. They announced Henrietta as the new head and as the new team leader, and that's it. There's a line.
They're going to stop the killing.
Yeah, there's a line from the White House, which like I just found my next running mate. Like they're going to make her VP or something. And the people seem to love her so far, and it's to be continued.
Yeah, will it go well? We'll find out over the next couple issues, and then another issue happens.
Yes.
Just like, it's a weird arc.
It is.
But fun. Like it's getting fun again. There's some good jokes in the last issue of this, I think.
Yeah, and it goes some places too. Like I mean, it's interesting that they like I liked El Guapo. I like the idea of him having a kind of a sentient skateboard. I think it's very funny, and also it opens like some real like good comic book physical gag humor. So it kind of sucks that he gets his legs blown off, but I also like that they stick with it and they don't just like dead girl teleport, or Venus de Milo teleporting back into the past or whatever. Like it I don't know. Like this comic book is really wacky sometimes in a really great way.
Yeah. It's fun. Like it is now getting a little goofier. So it's not trying to make a serious point about Princess Di, and it works better. Yep. Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate you. We'll be back in a couple days with part 4 of Back from the Dead. Mm-hmm. If you like the show, head on over to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and support your boys.
Yeah.
A bunch of cool stuff.
All kinds of good stuff over there. Exclusive content, access to the Slack channel, episodes early, all kinds of cool stuff. If you want to hear me and Gary get really weird, we recorded a week of everything to Guppy that you can go listen to. I kicked Will off the podcast. And so if you're looking for a way to ease yourself up into that craziness, that might be a good way to do so.
It really it coincided with our offboarding week of this podcast with an onboarding week of everything to Guppy. Like we're just really making a really smooth transition if people want to switch from this to that.
Yep, absolutely. Don't worry, I won't bring out the soundboard for this podcast, Gary. You don't have anything to worry about. So
I have to ping you about that because I have to ask how to make one of those because I have a thing I'm going to do to Will.
Ooh, exciting! We'll get into that a little bit off mic then.
No. Okay. Anywho, good night.
Bye.
What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? Questions that no one has the answers to.
You gotta make sure it's Marshall Mathers, or else the kids are gonna go crazy.
Yeah, they're not gonna know who it is. Okay. Well, it ends with him. That's a weird ending. It ends with Eminem standing on an ice floe being sent out to sea in the Arctic.
Like he's Wolverine. Like that's a Wolverine ending.
Sorry I killed your homies, Marshall. This is the Punisher talking. Sorry I killed your homies, Marshall. Now we're even. Here, Barracuda had a military satellite phone. You'll be able to call for rescue. Where are you going? To pay a visit to the Parents' Music Council. Hiring a contract killer is a serious crime. Oh, really? Cool. Do me a favor and tell him Shady sent you.
What? Is the implication that Punisher killed D12? Is that the... Is that...
Like, had to get their green and purple pills. Somehow.
Man, that's a lot. Why do they do this kind of stuff?
I don't know, man.